Hello and welcome to Behind the Dreams, a series in which we spotlight and talk with some of the amazing people who bring the Dreamiverse alive. My name is Multimoo, and today we're talking with Aecert, who has been creating logic-heavy projects all throughout the beta, early access, and into the full release.
Hello.
Hi. Before we get started, I just wanted to say congrats on the 1K followers.
Thank you so much.
Nearly 1K subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is true. The YouTube channel is going pretty strong.
What I know about you is that you are named Ryan. You're a software engineer, I believe, or software developer.
I am a computer science major working as a website developer. Technically the position is programmer analyst or something.
But your personal passion is game creation.
That's my favorite thing. I love it. It's because I like the challenge, and if I complete the challenge, it's actually fun, as opposed to like business software where there's definitely challenges, but it's not as fun. It's not as interesting.
Your drive and interest in games, did that always exist when you were little, or did that develop over time?
I first got into game development, quote unquote, with Little Big Planet 2 at 16, 15. I don't even remember how old I was.
Oh, nice.
It was cool. I did some technical stuff, logic stuff, but I never really posted much. I made a cool portal gun though. That was everyone wanted me to release it, and I didn't. I don't know why. I probably should have. But what really got me into game dev, in my opinion, was Project Spark. I put a ton of hours into that. I don't know. Have you heard of Project Spark?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it was
rest
a bit
in peace.
mishandled.
Rest in peace.
But it had some cool concepts, and it would have been nice for it to not have gone the way that.
Oh yeah. No, tell me about it.
So, are you also saying then that you've probably just been into video games as long as you can remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Any particular genres that you gravitate towards?
I love strategy games.
Yeah.
Tower
Any
defense.
Particular favorites?
RimWorld is very fun.
All right.
Tycoon games, I always enjoyed playing. Games that I create stuff in. So, RimWorld, if you guys, I'm sure a lot of you have never heard of RimWorld. It's a colony simulator, and you create your own colony. Just those type of games. I love those type of games.
And you can farm wacky tobacco in it.
You can do a lot of stuff in it.
That's how my friend first introduced me to it.
Yeah. Really? Not the organ harvesting?
Well, no, we got into it pretty deep.
Well, I mean, let's talk about my RPG game. Let's do it, because
that's what I was thinking.
That goes back far.
Yeah, that basically since the beta, right?
I was gonna say, yeah, as in I've already tried it once. I started with the procedurally generated dungeon. This was the first big project, and then the idea was to make an RPG to go into it, right? And then 4-ish months in, I was like, wait a second, the dungeon takes 80% thermo, then goes down to 20%, and the mechanics take 60% thermo. The math wasn't working out, and I kind of just stopped.
Is Santa Dash, by the way?
Oh, sorry, man. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Left field, but is that basically free ski?
Santa Dash is an infinite runner. There's 5 lanes.
Oh, it's an infinite runner. Okay.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
That was the first game I ever made. First actual game I ever made in Dreams.
Nice.
And I think it's pretty good for my first. I was really proud of it. I submitted it for the Winter Jam.
That, man.
But yeah, so after the dungeon game, I was like, I'm never doing a big project again. Dreams can't handle it. Little did I know I was just really bad at optimizing, but I knew that, but still. So I just do a bunch of different projects. Magic Arena Survival, Nutter Saves the Forest, Tactics 100. Turned out to be a big project, but I finished it.
The amazing Laser Bounce.
Laser Bounce, Laser Bounce. Create a Critter. So Nutter Saves the Forest and Create a Critter were the 2 jam games, both made under a week. Create a Critter's crazy. It's like a Spore clone kind of thing.
How would you compare, by the way, the stuff that you can do in Dreams to other software you're used to using?
I'd say the biggest plus for Dreams is that you can sculpt things in Dreams. That's my weakness, personally. Obviously, in game engines, the coding is so much more powerful. But the sculpting, I can actually do that in Dreams. In other things, it would take a really long time to learn. I'd rather just play Dreams and stamp down a cube. So yeah, that's pretty much it though. So I did like 7 or 8 projects, or I guess 6 or 7 projects. I joined a group to make a third-person shooter game. That went really... I worked on that character for quite a while. It's not... Like, we didn't hit a wall or anything. It's just... There's a lot of sculpting to do.
Well, okay.
A lot of sculpting to do. A lot of...
Has it progressed for you that much yet?
So in the last month, I've just been working on the RPG, but it's definitely... I definitely plan on finishing this. I made like a... I made an entire character with a bunch of different skills, but we needed the art side of it. So while I was waiting for that, I figured, why not start another giant project? I felt like I was at the ability level where I could make the RPG that I really wanted to make 8 months ago. So that's RPG V2. I'm hoping this is the thing that gets really popular. I wouldn't be able to make this if I hadn't done everything else at all.
What do you have kind of laid out for this project? Are you focusing mostly on the mechanics, kind of like a general outline, or do you have a story and other stuff figured out yet? That's a good question. There's no story yet. I do know that the story, quote unquote, is going to be a main quest line that you don't even have to do if you don't want to do. I want the gameplay to just be a bunch of different quests. Your goal can be whatever you want your goal to be. Maybe you want to make a crap load of money. Maybe you want to be as strong as possible and to kill everything. Maybe speed run it. Maybe that could be your goal. But it's an open world RPG. You're going to be able to go wherever you want, explore. I want to get a good foundation first, which will allow me to create the quests, create the storyline, do whatever I want. That's going to be the fun part. So, okay, with Laser Bounce, after I made the mechanics, I thought the puzzle making the puzzles, I thought that was going to be the fun part. That was the most stressful shit I've ever done in my life. That's not true, but it was so stressful. The mechanics for Laser Bounce were so good. I'm tooting my own horn here. They were so good. And then I was like, blank slate, I just needed to make puzzles. That was it. Everything else was done. And I was just like after like 10 or so easy puzzles, I'm just sitting there like, what do I do now? It was so hard. I got other people to help. Like 5 of us, mainly Pixel Gorilla and Andy, though. Andy Mation B. Us 3, we got 30 puzzles done. And we just didn't want to deal with it anymore. My goal, I wanted 100, and that was before I made any puzzles. I was like, yeah, let's get 100. So before I even started the RPG, I wanted to make the inventory, because like if I can't make the inventory, I can't really do the RPG. So I make the inventory. I like it. I make it remixable, publish it for everyone. Then I remix it, and a month later, I'm where I'm at now. If people really want to, try to figure out how to make some of the stuff, they could literally just look at your archives and your YouTube videos.
Right. They could look at the back of the VODs, or they can just ask me, and I will try my best to explain exactly how it works. I'd rather make something that's remixable, that's like bare bones, but like easy to understand, exactly what you blank slate. That's a blank slate. Whereas, again, my mount, for example, or even my enemy, I mean, the enemy is pretty blank slate, but regardless, there's just so much crap that is confusing, and like this, I don't know if you're watching the stream, but like...
No, I am.
The data, like how the mount is even spawned, I store the data in a variable, and then the variable gets... the data gets pulled out of the variable, and then... like all this stuff is randomized, not the attack, but like the color. Like, yeah, maybe you could figure it out, but if you're good enough to figure this out, you can just make it yourself at that point. So I'm way more comfortable with just remaking it. For example, I have a recorded, unedited but recorded tutorial for my dynamic interaction animation. So in my video, I did not show it off. All the video was a demo. Someone asked me to do it, a tutorial on it, so I did. I ended up just completely remaking it. So face the wrong way, press square, lines up, and then the button's pressed. And this is remixable. It's exactly what you need, and it should be very easy to understand and expand and to use for yourself, as opposed to making my character remixable and then having to like take it apart.
Correct.
And yeah,
so that's a great way to approach it. I know that one of the things you've said is the reason that you use Dreams is it lets you kind of avoid having to use a bunch of different software, all completely disjointed,
right,
and sidestep a lot of kind of the hurdles that you would have to. I get that, you know, it's definitely something that like I've been wanting for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, Dreams is amazing.
I've noticed a kind of, you know, this common theme between a lot of the people from the Dreamiverse, if you will. Most of them seem very like positive and willing to help each other. So not only are you making all those videos and tutorials, but people come in and ask you questions, and you will like drop what you're doing sometimes and go and build it for them right on screen.
Yep.
Do you find that like that's another thing that maybe you gravitate towards in Dreams?
I know exactly what you mean. I mean, the reason everyone is so helpful is because, I mean, we're not doing it for money. with everything else, right? Like Unity, Unreal, you're doing it for money. You're trying to make a game to sell it, and you don't really have time to help people. But I mean, that's why people are playing Dreams, just to do it for fun.
I do think there is a place for that, though. I think by just this
a place for what?
To like generate some income.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Not specifically like to go out and be like, I'm doing Dreams for money, but like,
no, I know what you mean. Yeah. By
virtue of the fact that you're literally paying it forward by helping others, and then people recognize that and they want to support you on Twitch or whatever, you know, I think that's such an interesting like dynamic.
I know you said a reason I use Dreams is because it's all in one piece of software, and that's definitely part of it. But I'm not against learning the software. The main reason I like Dreams is just like the community and the fact that I have an audience ready to play my game. Yes, they don't have to pay for my game, but at least people are playing it.
They've gone and done some craziness in terms of the editing and designing that makes it kind of playful in many ways, so that even the act of creation is like play rather than you know, constantly being in a terminal.
It's easy to look at. Yeah.
And then you can also easily switch to play something else and like test it out or play what you're working on right then and there without having to compile an entire engine.
You can instantly just play it. I want to help people. That's pretty much why I'm streaming. I'm streaming because, one, I think people would find what I'm creating interesting. That's one thing. I wouldn't stream if I thought people wouldn't like to watch. But the other side of it, I also want to help people, and because I just find it fun. I don't know. I find logic challenges fun, and I really like after I successfully help someone, just like the reaction I get. That makes me feel good inside.
So, Ryan, do you have any other kind of like, at least that you're willing to share,
any plans,
or plans,
as for like projects,
whether it's projects or whether it's outside of Dreams, maybe indirectly related?
I want to make a zombies game like a Black Ops zombies game. I've got the pathfinding. I love that game so much. Black Ops Zombies. I really want to make something like it. I've had my first project. Do you know the MMHQ zombie game I made? It was way back in early access.
Yeah.
Two problems with that. Yeah. Two problems was the pathfinding was too expensive, and after like 15 puppets, the game just like freaks out.
Oh, yeah.
And my gun play was horrible. I was really new, though. I'm surprised I got as far as I did, but I really want to make a game like that. And after these two projects, I probably will. And the third-person shooter, a lot of it I'll be able to reuse.
Okay.
But so as for projects, that is what I'm very interested in. That and a better tower defense game. That's another type of game that I love. Now, as for outside, as for Twitch stuff or like meta, you know what I mean? Like outside of Dreams, right now I have a full-time job. If I can within or by 4 years, if I can do this full time, like reasonable, like that would be
you're willing
amazing.
to take a slight
Oh my God, yeah.
dip just so you could do this full time. Yeah.
Like I could live off less. I could live off much less, but I'd rather not, and I don't think Natalie would not be happy. So right now she's working a part-time job, more than 40 hours a week, and I know that doesn't make any sense. And then she's going to go to graduate school for the next 4 years, and that's where my 4 year. That's why I said 4 years. That specific amount. She's going to be at graduate school for 4 years. I'm going to be working a full-time job during that. I'm hoping I can grow large enough to do this full time. If not, I'm making probably in 4 years 70, 80K doing stuff I don't really like, but who knows?
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
So RPG V2 is what we're looking forward to next from you. Also a third-person shooter. Neither have public names yet or whatever.
RPG doesn't have a name. Project Deadbug is the working name.
Okay.
That's not going to be the name. It's just the bugs are the enemies.
Gotcha.
That's it. Yeah, it's a working title. Yeah.
Okay.
But
and we can find you at twitch.tv/AECERT. That's Aecert.
AECERT.
As well as youtube.com/AecertGaming.
For YouTube.
I'll make sure to pop that on screen.
Twitter is also
for...
Aecert Gaming, and that is it. Yeah.
So thank you again for taking time out of your unscheduled stream.
Yeah, dude, no problem. Thank you so much for doing this. Like, I'm really happy.
I think it's a niche I can fill.
Just highlighting.
At least from my perspective.
So is this going on YouTube?
This will be on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
There'll be some 4K video of your different projects, maybe some graphic design work for my channel. Not sure.
Nice.
And that about wraps it up here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I do plan to do more of these. They won't always be the same. Some folks may be from other parts of the world, so their discussion will be in written form and I will kind of tell their story with my voice. But if you think I should talk to you or someone that you know, feel free to reach out and maybe we'll see you in Behind the Dreams next time.